That don't smell like dirty clothes.
What do you mean? I'm about to show you. They been sitting there for months and months and months and months and months.
You got to open that up all the way. What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
Dirty things?
No. Pull it out. What the Get the in! Put your hands up!
An officer's hand rests on the trunk of a car, hesitating for just a moment before doing what he has to do. His partner stands back, a grim look already on his face. The air in Maryland is thick and humid, but it's also heavy with the feeling that something is deeply, terribly wrong.
Open that up.
With a click, the trunk opens. The officer physically recoils, his face a mask of pure horror. He stumbles backward, a hand covering his mouth, trying to make sense of a sight that will haunt him for the rest of his life. What he saw in that trunk wasn't just a crime scene. It was the silent, final scream of a tragedy that had been unfolding for over a year, hidden in plain sight. To understand how this single moment could leave hardened police officers completely speechless, we need to go back to how it all started, with a seemingly routine traffic stop. The night of July 28, 2021, seemed like any other for the Baltimore County Police. Headlights painted streaks across the dark asphalt. But then, one car broke the pattern. It was driving erratically and speeding, grabbing the attention of an officer on patrol in Essex. A quick check showed the car was unregistered, uninsured, and had a fake temporary tag. It was a standard pullover, the kind of stop that happens thousands of times a night. The officer flipped on his lights, and the car complied. Behind the wheel was a 33-year-old woman named Nichole Johnson. From the very first moment they spoke, something felt off. Johnson was nervous, way more than you'd expect from a simple traffic stop. Her movements were fidgety, her eyes darting everywhere but at the officer. She couldn't produce a driver's license or registration, which confirmed the officer's suspicions. The situation seemed simple enough. Because it wasn't registered or insured, the car had to be towed. The officer told Johnson this and said she could grab any personal belongings she needed from the vehicle. It's a routine instruction, but her reaction was anything but routine. And it was the first thread to be pulled that would unravel an unimaginable horror. As Johnson started gathering her things, the officer noticed a smell. It was faint at first, but it hung in the air around the car, a sickeningly sweet, foul odor. He recognized it instantly. It was the unmistakable smell of decomposition. The officer's training and his instincts all screamed at him. This was no longer a routine stop. He asked Johnson about the smell, but her answers were evasive and didn't make any sense. His concern grew with every second. He watched as she went to the trunk, her hands trembling as she tried to pull out a large suitcase and a plastic tote bag. She seemed desperate to get them out of the car, away from anyone's view. Then, as she moved one of the bags, the officer saw something that made his blood run cold. Maggots. They were crawling inside one of the bags she was trying to hide. The situation had just escalated from a traffic violation to a potentially gruesome crime scene. The officer ordered her to stop, to leave the items where they were. But Johnson only got more agitated and frantic. She then made a bizarre and chilling statement to the officer. "It doesn't matter. I won't be here in 5 days. You're going to see me on the news making my big debut." That was it. The officer had more than enough reason to detain Johnson and search the entire vehicle. He called for backup, and the tension in the air became unbearable. As other officers arrived and secured Johnson, their attention turned to the car, specifically to the trunk where that horrific smell was coming from. They approached it with caution. Johnson had tried to throw a blanket over a suitcase, a weak attempt to hide whatever was inside. An officer removed the blanket and then had Johnson open the suitcase herself. Inside, wrapped in a clear trash bag, they could see the small, unmistakable form of a child. The shock was immediate and profound, but the horror wasn't over. Next to the suitcase was a large plastic tote. Inside, they made a second, equally devastating discovery: the body of another, even smaller child. Seeing her secrets unearthed, Johnson tried to run, but was caught almost immediately. What began as a traffic stop had just turned into a house of horrors on the side of a highway. The two small bodies in the trunk belonged to 7-year-old Jocelyn Johnson and her 5-year-old brother, Larry O'Neill. They were Nichole Johnson's own niece and nephew. The children's mother, Nichole Johnson, had placed them in her sister's care back in 2019 after she moved to Maryland, trusting Nichole to look after them. But for months, Nichole had been desperately trying to get her children back. She told investigators she had arranged to meet Nichole in March of 2021 to pick them up, but Nichole was a no-show. After that, she couldn't get in touch with her sister at all. She had no idea that by then, her daughter had likely been dead for nearly a year. The investigation would later reveal a sickening timeline. Johnson confessed to detectives that the nightmare began in a motel room back in May 2020. She claimed she got angry with 7-year-old Jocelyn, hit her several times, and caused her to fall and hit her head. Instead of getting help, Johnson put her niece's body in a suitcase and left it in the trunk of her car. For over a year, she drove around with the little girl's remains just feet away.
Text messages obtained from Nichole's phone.
It's hard to comprehend the calculated cruelty. For more than a year after Jocelyn died, Nichole Johnson kept up a facade. She texted with family, including the kids' worried mother, telling them the children were fine and happy. All the while, Jocelyn's body was in her trunk. Then, just 2 months before the traffic stop, in May of 2021, 5-year-old Larry also died. Johnson told police that Larry had an injury, complained of being tired, went to sleep, and never woke up. Again, instead of calling for help, she put his small body in a plastic tote bag and placed it in the trunk, right next to his sister. The physical evidence told a story of horrific neglect. The autopsy revealed that when 7-year-old Jocelyn died, she weighed only 18 pounds. Her 5-year-old brother, Larry, weighed just 21 pounds. These weights are staggeringly low, pointing to severe starvation. The lives of these two innocent children weren't taken in a single, violent moment, but through a long, drawn-out period of unimaginable cruelty from the one person who was supposed to be protecting them.
Right here somewhere.
Right inside of his left thigh?
Yeah, but I did like...
Was the blood dripping? Was it?
Only way that I noticed it, and honestly, I didn't even notice it until I started trying to stink. And then when I started looking at his clothes, they was bloody.
The detective offers Nichole a cigarette and allows her to smoke in the interrogation room as she continues her story.
What caused the boy's injury with the blood in his thigh?
I can't remember what exactly he was playing with. And I think I yelled it. I think I swung on him for playing with it. But I can't remember what.
Is there a chance you hit him afterwards and...
I didn't see the thing.
Okay.
I told
but you said you swung on him.
Yeah, because he was playing with something. I didn't see the thing I told you I didn't see the thing that was in his leg until it was like, it was just like.
And what was it?
I never even looked at it. I never even took his pants off. I just seen the blood. And I yelled at him like, well, I didn't yell at him when I seen the blood. I yelled at him, like, I don't even remember what it was. It was just like getting drowsy, like just getting drowsy. Like, the last thing he said.
So the last thing he said?
He said, honey, can you lay me down?
What's that?
He said, can I lay him down?
Can you lay him down?
Yes, because he was sitting up in the chair. He said, oh, nigga, can you lay me down? And I said, yeah, honey. And I went to smoke, and I turned back around, and it was like, stay. Hey, would I answer me?
Where did you lay him down at?
On the back seat of the car.
Okay.
Like this are a heartbreaking reminder of how vulnerable children are and why communities have to be vigilant. The system failed Jocelyn and Larry. Their story is a powerful, painful call for all of us to be aware and to speak up. If you believe these stories are vital for spreading awareness to help prevent future tragedies, please subscribe and share this video. It helps ensure these important stories are heard. Nichole Michelle Johnson eventually pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree child abuse, resulting in death. On February 10, 2025, a judge sentenced her to life in prison, but suspended all but 50 years. If she is ever released, she will have 5 years of supervised probation and must undergo mental health treatment. While the case is legally closed, there is no sentence that can bring back Jocelyn and Larry. They were robbed of their futures, of birthdays, of school, of the simple joys of being a kid. Larry's body was found just 1 week before his 6th birthday. This is a story of monstrous deceit and the ultimate betrayal of trust. It's a story about 2 beautiful children whose lives were cut short far too soon. It's now our responsibility to remember them, not for the horror of their deaths, but for the bright, happy lives they deserve to live.